Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Fangirlz Assemble. It's always going to feel really awkward and disingenuous when I start a show, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, if we're up here, we've got to keep that same level. The inside, we can't do that.
Like,
We can't be that excited. We're not
right.
those people.
And if we are, it's only about random TV shows.
That's right. 13 Reasons Why. We won't go there again.
Maybe.
We're still crying.
um,
Today we're going to talk about Snapdragon. And Are You Listening?
yeah, first second books.
Great for second books that you can get at our fabulous sponsor in stocktrades.com. You can get up to 50% on your books. You're going to get a great discount on these. It's 100% worth it. And they're going to ship them to your house with the best packaging around. And that's the truth. Because last week, I got my box and it like a torrential downpour. But everything was fine because they bag everything up. It's under tons of peanuts or packing material. And it's always fine. I don't have to worry about it. And that's the best.
And I'm just checking really quick. Yes, both of these are in stock and in stock trades right now. Snapdragon, the soft cover, volume 1, is going for $9.48. It's 20. Oh, sorry, a little bit more than that. I have my loyalty discount on. But around that amount, about $9.50. So about 25% off. And then Are You Listening is also 25% off. About $13.50.
You guys have to for those prices.
Pretty good. What's going down? What's going down is we're going to review Are You Listening and Snapdragon, which are two
What's going down with you, Jesse?
first second graphic novels. Yeah, and so both of these were released last year, right?
Snapdragon was this year.
Oh, you're right.
This was last year.
C2E2 doesn't even feel like it fell into this year with like COVID and everything else.
It's very strange.
Yeah, because it wasn't that long. It was like 4 months ago when I was at C2E2 before everything, this hellish landscape happened.
Can you even imagine a con right now?
No. Oh my god. Oh, I can barely like. Some of my friends like, well, we could hang out with just like a couple of us, and I'm just like so. I know it's fine, but I'm like so scared, even just to see one
I
person.
feel the same. Like I just yesterday was told that a coworker of mine, their girlfriend who they live with, may have COVID. So I will learn Monday if I need to be covering some shifts for someone in my department. It's still happening, guys. It's still happening.
Oh
so yeah, I feel the same. I'm like, I don't feel like I can do anything still.
Yeah. But yeah, like 4 months ago, I picked up that Snapdragon for you and got it signed at C2E2.
Oh yes, let me show that off.
At the last convention of the year.
It's a great signature too. The little doodle, very cute.
And Freddie, I agree. Honestly, I think depending on if you're going into collecting for a second, you can definitely decide if you wanted to go the hardcover route or the soft cover. Personally, I think I really like the first, second soft covers, but the hardcovers are also really, really nice. Like,
I have some of each.
I do too. Mine's a mix.
Yeah, mine is a nice mixture. I will say, the Are You Listening is the soft cover also really smooth and soft.
Yes.
And so is the hardcover. Yeah. Oh, it's nice.
I will
you guys
say
know
that
we touch books here.
If you're about pure aesthetics on your bookshelf, so like, let's say you wanted to have first, second books, like a shelf dedicated to them, I think you would be very pleased if you chose a consistent format amongst those. For the most part, some of them,
if that's how you organize,
it won't matter. Yeah. Like Margot Malou, it's a weird shaped hardcover. It's not going to match everything else, but as far as like your more standard graphic novels, they will.
Well, and these also are not the same size.
Oh, really?
Snapdragon's a little smaller.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe it's a soft cover. I saw Joseph Beth when they had them together, and I was like, whoa. Damn, that looks good.
I don't know. I have like some smaller ones even in my paperbacks.
Yeah.
I guess maybe a little bit younger audience, because I would say this is a younger audience than this.
Yeah, well, for sure. Because Snapdragon, I think, can go for anything. And man, Snapdragon is a great one to talk about right now in general.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Do we want to Snapdragon?
Do we want to ruin things?
Oh man.
This one especially, I feel like no, right? Because we want people to read this.
Oh man, that sucks
But-
too. Because there's parts of this book
I know.
that are
Huge parts that
Yeah.
would be considered spoilers.
Oh man.
Yeah. Because I was just looking at the back and I was like,
I think
yeah.
we can talk about a general thing that's included in this book and not talk about how it is related to anything.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I'm gonna let you do that because I feel like you have something in mind for it.
Okay. So there is I will say that let's do a quick summary about what Snapdragon's about. Basically it's about this young girl and she's very just like unruly.
Yeah.
You know.
She is.
And she's just super rambunctious, and she's almost like she acts like a little wolf child almost.
Yeah.
You know, the way she kind of like
Totally.
scurries around. You could picture her just like running around on all fours, like that type of like young girl who wants to be outside and doing stuff.
Real
And
hyper.
Yes, that's whatever's on her mind. She's got a best friend, this other kid in the neighborhood, and she ends up running into this scary old woman in the woods. And of course, it's built up like any children's movie, like any Sandlot sort of deal is, where they're like, this woman's a witch and she lives in the woods and she'll cast spells on you. And it's just this older woman with like an eye patch and, you know, dark clothes.
Yeah.
You know? And our main character, being the way that she is like, well, I want you to teach me some spells.
There's the older woman.
Both of them are.
Yeah. And she's got that cloak, which doesn't help.
No, and honestly,
You're a witch.
She's probably just doesn't want to get tanned. There's a woman in my old town that head to toe black, and like most of it covering her face when she walks around town, but she walks often. I couldn't help but think about that. So you just kind of see their relationship build up through that. But it's a key to some like bigger pictures things going around. There's one big thing in particular I'm not going to spoil, but I will say that you do learn about a situation during like, I guess like more like civil rights era, really, where you see like a lesbian interracial couple, and so they do touch on that in a really nice way, in a very interesting way. It was really beautiful because I did not see. There's some the main theme is all about this young girl and this older woman, really, and their kind of relationship, their kind of goofy friendship.
Yeah, and them learning about each other.
There's some larger themes in here that like I think we as adults would notice more and be like, oh, whoa, that's really cool. But I like it because this is technically a younger, not really YA, more like middle. I think it could work as a middle grade.
Yeah, totally. And that's about the grade she's in.
Definitely all ages, regardless. But there's some progressive, I like to say more realistic themes in here that we don't see often, that were really beautiful. I felt myself really touched, like.
And there's a great trans character.
There's a great trans character, and I wish we could tell you more about them, and we can't.
It's so well done too, that whole storyline. So there's just some great representation.
And it's also wonderful because you're seeing it through the guise of this young girl who's not swayed either way. You know, we read a lot of first, second books where, you know, sometimes things about gender, or sexuality, or race are like, not that they're not a part of the story, but they're a very like the main character's very cognizant of those, right? They are either like having a monologue that involves it, or they're discussing these. But that's not really the case here because you have this young girl who's just, she doesn't care either way. You know, that's not even part of it. There's no discussion of, oh, is this wrong? Or no discussion of like, oh, what are other people going to think about this? It's just like, okay, let's go. And that's so nice. And I hope we see more like this. It just felt so pure and beautiful and fun. It's just fun.
And it's super fun. Like, I got to mention, at least talk about this part. It's not a spoiler. It's just something that happens. But Snapdragon finds she's getting bullied at school. And these bullies like push her into a dead possum that's on the ground. And this possum had babies. So she takes the babies and she takes these babies to the woods where the old lady is. And she's like, hey, I thought, you know, you've helped animals like you would help. You helped my dog. You know, you can help these possums, right? Oh, the dog is so good.
We'll get to the dog.
So she's like, yeah, but you're going to help me with it. And while she's there, she's working on gluing these bones together of like dead animals. So there's like this, which doesn't help her witch thing, right?
Right, because she's in an artistic taxidermy, basically.
Right.
But in a way that, like, people, you know, a lot of people pay for, like, taxidermy of their pets and that kind of thing.
Right. So Snapdragon gets really into that and bones and weird stuff. So she's just like this weird kid who no one understands at school, but she can relate to this old lady in the woods. It was just such a unique story. I've never read anything like this. Like, this was a reread for me, and I still so much loved it the second time around.
It's so much fun. It reminded me of a cartoon I've been watching now that I have HBO Max, which is Craig of the Creek. Which, Chris, I'm just going to give you my login so you can watch it because,
okay.
well, one, Karen and George are in an episode.
Oh.
They're girlfriends.
I've heard about this. That's right. I was like, 2, I feel like I've heard this. Yeah.
I'm sure Freddie's watched it, but like Craig of the Creek is so just fun. We just sat and watched it. It was just fun. Like Steven Universe is fun, but it gets really intense in a wonderful, beautiful way. But Craig of the Creek is just so chill. It's just chill. These kids that play in the creek.
Love it.
They have like a kids next door level of like organization, of course, because everybody has groups. But anyways, not related to this book. But it made me think about that, or at least watching Craig of the Creek made me think about Snapdragon. It's just so cute and so much fun. But yes, her dog. She's a 3-legged dog called Good Boy.
And he's a good boy.
He's a good boy. And Matt, she's just, I want more, you know, I love seeing a little girl character like that who's just so wild. She reminds me of like, the way she talks reminds me of like a younger Miyazaki character like Mei from My Neighbor Totoro, because she just kind of yells stuff.
Yeah, she's excited about a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's a delight. And the art's wonderful.
She's not like quote unquote super girly either, the stereotypical girly, which that's kind of addressed at one point too. She's just like, I'm just not like other girls, I guess. Like, it's just me, which I loved because so many kids, especially now, probably question a lot more than they used to. And she was just like, hey, this is just how I am, though, you know?
Yeah, and then her best friend isn't very like boyish, you know? And they kind of find their own solace with each other because neither of them really fits into like the norm of what they should. And that's so sweet. Yeah,
when they started hanging out, he was painting his nails. And she was like, she didn't care at all. She was like helping him, you know? And he's like, well, you don't make fun of me for that, so why would I make fun of you for whatever you're like, you know?
Yeah.
And it's great.
That's so good. Great read. Everybody should pick it up. If you haven't, just pick up Snapdragon.
Just buy it right now.
Yeah.
We would love to tell you much, much more about it, but we don't want to ruin everything. And it is a short read. It's worth your time.
So good.
It's so good. This is 100% one of my favorite reads of the year so far.
And next, Are You Listening?
You guys know we love Tilly Walden. Yeah. Come on.
But we haven't talked in depth really about this book since it came out.
Which is full of craziness that I didn't expect.
No, it felt very different than usual.
Yeah, there was a lot of magical realism in here. Which this story starts with this girl, she's 18, and she's running away from home, essentially. She runs into this older woman who's in her 20s, I think, right? In her 20s?
Yeah.
26 or something like that. Who she knows as like her neighbor, who's like helped fix family cars and stuff. And she's also heading out of town. So this woman gives her a ride. That's where they run into each other. And the rest of the story is all about their road trip in this car together. Pretty much strangers. They kind of know each other, but not really. Learning about each other's lives. But there's some twists and turns that are incredibly strange. One thing that does happen early on is they find this white cat that they named Diamond, which I'm already in at the cat, right?
Well, of course.
I don't know where Diamond is, but So they take this cat along, and this cat has a collar on it that says an address in West Texas, like West the city, Texas. Well, they couldn't find West on a map. So the rest of their journey is we need to get Diamond back to this place that apparently doesn't exist. Or does it? So I feel like I don't know what else I can say.
Well, yeah, because it starts to
As
take
far
a
as the
really
journey.
weird turn. Because if you read the back of like Are You Listening, it just seems like okay, you're dealing with these two kind of lost souls driving together in this road trip, kind of trying to like escape from just life
Mm-hmm.
in general. And you know they have the usual things you do on road trips where the two kind of argue and have tiffs and issues. And then when they have to pick up the cat and they're trying to find out where to take the cat, it becomes something different, and you're not really sure what's happening. Almost in a way that's like this is our pact, but less
Yeah.
whimsical.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, wait a second, this is what fantasy land is this?
And at one point, I'm glad you said the back because I should have just read the back because it's a great tease of it. But they do mention on the back that they end up being followed by mysterious men from the Office of Road Inquiry.
Oh, that's true. Because they're
And
looking
these
for the
men
cat.
are looking for the cat. And they're like, what is happening? So they keep like getting, these men keep coming up behind them and following them. And that turns into a real strange situation too. So it's like much, much more. Here's the creepy guys. It's much more than just a road trip story.
Yeah, and in typical Walden style, like she doesn't, other worlds would give you like this is explicitly what this is happening, but Walden, when she has like a fantasy aspect, same with like on a Sunbeam, she just kind of like puts little like drops of it.
Mm-hmm.
She never like gives you the whole picture. It's more just like to keep you kind of wondering of what exactly everything is. It's just like little bits of this fantasy world.
With gorgeous art
Oh,
throughout,
beautiful.
as she loves to do. I love the color palette for this. Like it's
I'm glad that she made this move. Like between On a Sunbeam and this, I like those full colors, and I wish. Actually, let me move this over so you guys can see it. But this is kind of in the way. But I have a Tilly Walden print right here from On a Sunbeam. You can get it from InPrint, and I just really like her. Yeah, just that color palette she started to use those like really moody, rich pinks and blues. They're really pretty.
Yeah, and I loved it in comparison. There's just a little bit of flashback in this.
Mm-hmm.
The flashback had a completely different, like brighter color palette. So you knew going from like, something dark like this to something brighter like that. I love that contrast. Again, we're at a point where like, well, we don't want to ruin the whole thing because we want everybody to read it. There's just way, way more going on than just a road trip, as always. And I love this cover. It's a great cover.
Yeah. And like I continue to be really impressed by her because her art could be art. You could argue that her art is very simplistic when it comes to people, but she really brings these worlds together with her color work and her background in a way that you wouldn't expect. Because if you look at the cover of Tilly Walden, same with like Spinning by Tilly, her art seems kind of like, I don't want to say raw. It seems like unpolished. Like that's like the style of it. But there's a real richness to her art and storytelling that I really enjoy.
Definitely.
And she's so young. I keep forgetting.
I know.
It's upset because
after we reread Spinning, I was like, oh gosh, she's so young.
Like, what? And she's like 22.
I was gonna say early 20s for sure. Yeah.
Which feels so weird
Crazy.
to me because in my mind, all comic book careers are like older than me.
I know, right? Yeah.
And that's wicked not true.
Mm-hmm.
And she's done so well for herself. I mean, she's got what, 3 like full graphic novels out, and then some like just more like art books, like short form.
Mm-hmm.
And she's only 22.
It's crazy.
That's super impressive.
It's wonderful, and it's like I think you and I both would read anything she puts out.
Yeah,
so she's also got diehard fans at this point,
Yeah, everything she's put out, I've read.
It's great.
I don't even know. Oh man, speaking of, I mean, you guys already know that we love this. So, for those of you, and this is a kind of recommendation for Kristen too, that have enjoyed Tilly's work, I found a similar artist style who does video games online, more like visual novels type. Her name is Angela He, and she goes to like Stanford, but she has. If you go onto Itch.io, I'll write it in the comments. Which also, all of you should go on there anyways, because they have a huge game bundle, like $5 for like 100 or 1,600 games.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
It all gets donated to. It's the bundle for racial injustice. Or sorry,
Oh nice.
for bundle for racial justice
Yeah.
and equality. So typing the Itch.io. Oh, I put it wrong again. Sorry, guys. Lordy, it's so hard for me to write. Itch.io. There it is. That's correct with the period. But Angela He has like 6 different games on there. I'll type her name out too. And it's a very similar style. A lot of the same themes, you know, a lot of like queer stories as well. That very like almost kind of pastel simple artwork, but still very moving, very color wise. And all of her games are pretty short. They're like almost choose your own adventure types, where it's like dialogue heavy, but you make some like crucial choices that move where the game's gonna go, but you don't like move yourself. And they're quick and they're very good and sometimes very devastating. So I really recommend it to everyone because I've played 2 of her games now. Most of them are free. If they're not free, they're like $3. So if you're looking for like a more interactive Tilly Walden experience, please check out Angela He online. She's got Twitter, Instagram, she's on Itch.io, all those things. If y'all play games, and also pick up the bundle for racial justice and equality. It's like $5.
That's awesome. Yeah, why not?
It's $5. All your money's going to a good cause, and right now there's more games every time I check. 1,705 games in that bundle, and all the money just goes to like all the proceeds are donated to NAACP, Legal Defense and Educational Fund, and the Community Bail Fund.
That's great.
They've already raised like $6 million.
That's amazing.
I know.
Wow.
So check it out. With that many games, there's some really good ones in there. Even, I mean, Kristen, I think you would like a bunch of these.
Definitely, I'll check it out.
Like Night in the Woods, where you're a cat person.
Oh, I'm already there, right?
And you are returning to your old hometown. That depresses you a lot.
Oh. Twists and turns.
You would dig it. A lot of these are like, I don't know, very like comic heavy. Cat lateral damage. You play as a cat.
Okay.
Trying to make some damage in your house.
As you do, as a cat. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I went on a
No, that's great.
But I wanted to make sure that you guys check that out because as I was playing Angela He's game, I was like, am I like living in a Tilly Walden world? What is what happened?
I do want to go back to a comment that
Yes.
we missed. Freddie says, just want to say that purple mom dress was perfect. I didn't realize what was happening with them until then and loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Freddie, I do hope that you check out Craig of the Creek next. It's very good. It's very, very good. It's crazy all she's done, like how Alex Ross was 1921 during Marvels. What?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Are you serious? So he's just always been incredibly talented.
A lot of those amazing older creators were so young back in the early Marvel days. It's crazy.
Because when you think, I mean, a lot of people when they think Alex Ross, they think Marvels first. A lot of people. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Not that talented or accomplished.
We all feel that way. Freddie also said, I'm going back up, that Snapdragon drove me wild at first being smaller, but he's used to it now. Yeah, so it is smaller. I think both. It's just it is weird, though. I didn't expect it either, because it's barely smaller, but it is.
Now that Bendis is soon going to wrap up his run, not so great run, on Superman Action Comics. I haven't read any of the Bendis Superman. I'm sure there's a reason why. Who do you want to take over the Super Family titles? Superman Action Comics and Supergirl. Off the top of my head, I would be happy if Mariko Tamaki took it over. Purely because I was so impressed with Supergirl being super. At least, like, I really would have liked that to be a longer run. I think it was much more deserving of a longer run. Or bring on somebody that we know has been doing well on other titles, like Tinian. Although I know he's writing Detective Comics now. It's also how much he's gotten better. You can see with the 25th version and his evolution with color makes me excited how Tilly will grow. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see what Tilly Walden is like 10 years from now and how her stories will change too. Because, I mean, she's a one-woman show.
I think she'll get better at faces.
We can only hope. That's my only
so we're a little less confused.
That's my one big downside. Yeah. I don't have much,
Totally.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. But, Omar tells me constantly how bad Bendis is, so, Although I was reading, I know a lot of people like Bendis when he's, like, an intro to something. Like people really...
I mean, his Naomi was great.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about that with you, because I just read it for the first time today.
Yes.
Because I have my DC Universe app, and I've been reading comics on there. And today I treated myself to Naomi. And then was just devastated that was all I could read.
I know, right?
Because the art was beautiful.
It was great.
I was immediately interested in this character. And I usually think the Rand Thanagar war is boring to tears. But I was more interested in that conflict through her and her experience. And she's so pretty.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
And then I was done. I was like, oh.
I also really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Because I would really like her to be in everything.
I'm with you.
I love Naomi. I think she's just fantastic. And, for a lot of reasons. I think on her own, she's just wonderful. Like, not taking anything else into account. I thought. The art was beautiful. The story was great. I love the cats of characters. Like, it was really fun. And, like, her, like, the Thanagar man she meets in, like, the garage. I loved his build. I thought he was just so, like, the body differences in everyone.
Yeah.
Was so
that was
profound.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And in her included, like, and her friend, I mean, like, I felt like there was just such a variety of, like, faces and looks and body types that I had not seen, especially from DC. And,
that we don't usually see, yeah.
Yeah, and to, like, and then, of course, to state, what we know I'd want to say, like, to have a black female lead in a DC comic is really, really, really fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, like, natural hair. Like, they didn't change any of that because DC, like a lot of comic books do. They don't understand. Marvel's better at it because they take those risks. DC does not. But I think DC took a risk, and they did it very, very well and well-intentioned. And I was very happy with it.
Yep.
And now that's all I have to read of it. I'm so bummed.
I know. I want more.
Is it ongoing or is it canceled?
I thought it was ongoing. Yeah, because it did really well in singles.
Right.
Really well in singles.
They were sold out everywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like at least like the issues.
Yeah.
Man. Freddie has a good question. I would love to see someone in the chat answer because I'm going to read this next now that I've read Naomi. Because I'm going to read it. I'm going to read myself through that line, the Wonder comics. Just because they seem lighthearted, like.
I've thought of doing that too, especially because like, with my not having much knowledge at all from the DC universe, like I jumped in Naomi just fine, and that's the kind of stuff I want to read. I don't want to have to know things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's super fair. And I do recommend anyone in the chat, like if you're interested in reading a lot, if you haven't read a ton of DC, and if you are interested in doing it, or interested in filling in some holes of stuff you haven't read, DC Universe is a great option. I gave it the hardest time back in the day because it was garbage to use. And it just made me upset, and I couldn't, AirPlay it to my TV for my phone, which was stupid. But reading comics on it is great. I think we talked about this last week, but because we compared it to Marvel, which is garbage. It's a garbage app. It hasn't gotten any better.
That's bad.
Yeah, but man, it's so easy to use. I just had a nice little time today reading.
It's great.
But yeah, have any of you guys read Bendis' Young Justice? I guess not, because I haven't seen any comments about it. So if anyone ends up reading it, let us know. I guess I'll just read it.
And let us know.
I'll let you guys know next time. Bendis, for me, early on when he wrote Ultimate Spider-Man and New Avengers plus Young Justice Naomi were good works of his along with his Daredevil run. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people like... And I
loved Ultimate Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I know we talked about comics, but there's a PlayStation 5 show.
Oh, yeah.
Week. And there's a lot of things. One thing in particular I want to talk to Kristen about. But before
the cat game?
Yes. How do you feel about the cat game?
I want to play the cat game. Like, I have no intention to get a PS5, but now I want to play the cat game.
Well, I'll get a PS5, and I'll get the cat game, so just come over.
Great. Now I have to come over.
I don't know. All I know is there's a cat with a backpack, and there's robots.
That's all I need to know, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm into this cat game. Like, that's one of your starters? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks great.
I know.
Maybe we'll get lucky. I'll come to PC or something. But and then we're getting a new Spider-Man game that's part of the extended like Spider-Man game universe with Miles Morales, which I think a lot of us hoped for because he showed up in the first game. Wicked excited to play as Miles and see how his story is going to be different in this new Spider-Man game universe.
Looks really good.
And also, there's a game by Square Enix coming out. I already forgot the name, but one super, super cool part of that is that the main character is a middle-aged woman, which I have never, ever in my life seen in a video game.
Which is crazy to even say, right?
I know.
Yeah.
But she's middle-aged. She is like an astronaut or something, and she's in space, and she lands on this planet. Kind of like an alien-esque situation. Where, like, she's getting infected and it's messing with her brain and memories in a cool way. So it's going to be one of those, like, psychological thrillers. But I think about stuff like that a lot, where, like, I think of, like, you look at, like, sci-fi genres or fantasy genres, and you do get stories with an older man. That does happen. Like, look at Geralt in Witcher. Or, I don't know, one of the other million things. But, like, it's very rare that I see, like, an older woman be the protagonist.
Definitely. That sounds good.
Super, super excited. I just rambled. Hope that was okay. Looks like other people thought of us and you, especially when that cat came.
Yes.
I don't know if Terrence played a part in the cat game.
I sure hope not. I'm done with those. I don't even try anymore.
Did you see that Sonic announced the Miles game was a standalone story from the first game, and someone legit asked them what their source was? I did see that tweet.
Jeez.
Yeah, they were like, you don't know. I was like, no, I was on the game. Justin, I don't know. Because, yeah, that's always a catalyst, right, for Miles, so I'm not sure, because in this one, Peter's still alive by the end, so maybe he won't need all of that to be, maybe that won't have to be the catalyst for him. Maybe it'll be something else. They'll probably, still, like, kill his uncle or whatever.
Oh, they always kill somebody, right?
Yeah, there has to be a fridge in there.
He has to be upset.
He can't be a superhero without a fridge.
Yeah.
That's what comics have taught me.
That's how it goes. They always have to break our hearts.
It's like playing D&D. Like, your characters, inevitably, most of them are going to have some dumb, tragic backstory. It's like, I'm an orphan, or I watched my wife die, or it's very rare.
Always.
It's like, my two parents are very happy, and I just chose to go on an adventure. So fun. I
want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Although One Punch Man is a superhero for fun.
He is.
So.
Man, that's still wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I got a thing in.
Oh, a thing.
Since our last
show.
I
saw this thing earlier. I was going to ask you about that thing. Yeah. You didn't need IST.
Luckily, Amazon did very well.
Good.
It came very quickly, in great condition.
See, that never would happen with me.
I know. I mean, it's
They
a
break
library
everything
edition,
they
so I
send
was
me.
very worried, but
Yeah,
you'll see
good.
here.
Good deal.
It's beautiful. I haven't opened it yet. Are you getting it?
Oh yeah. My order is held up by something, so
Ooh,
I know.
man.
I think you guys know there's just delays with Diamond restocking. It's all good. I have
Yeah.
things to read. But yes, mine is coming. Well, we should talk about that. We're just gonna keep adding stuff to July and be like, how do we read all this?
Oh, I do see one ding. If
Oh
it was in
no.
stock trades, they would have sold this as damaged,
That's right.
which is hilarious.
That's right. It's so true too.
But man, I'm so excited about this.
It's so nice.
There's nothing like Joelle Jones art. Like, just. Ooh.
What a nice blood splatter that is. That's great.
Yeah, like. For those of you who haven't read Lady Killer by Joelle Jones, 1, you should. 2, order the library edition before it's too late off Amazon. Okay? Because list price is $40, which is not bad for an oversized book. I love library editions. And you'll get that for cheaper.
You could also wait for IST to restock though.
That is true.
Because it will likely happen.
It, like most library editions, it does come with a ribbon.
Oh, it's so good. I love that it's pink.
I know. And for those of you who haven't heard of Lady Killer, it's about an assassin / housewife. And, it gets pretty brutal. And she looks super awesome the whole time she's doing it.
Of course.
She can go murder a dude and still make it time at home to do the laundry.
It's the best.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm really excited to reread everything. And this is the best format for it. I wish all comic books could be library editions.
I do too. Well, not all. We don't need it for everything.
Well, no. But
also, we would never have a room. Can you imagine?
I would have to I'd have to redo all my shelves.
Or add onto your house. I mean.
Yeah. But man, how beautiful would they be?
Yeah, true.
Hayden asked, speaking of library editions, did you get Angel Season 11 one?
I'm waiting for IST.
Is it out?
It's out via Penguin and Random House and everything.
Okay, so Tuesday?
It's not out via IST. Okay. Let me get you the Diamond date. Because I've already put all these in my calendar, but I don't have that with me. Let's see.
Yeah, if you could shoot me, like, a message when that drops. So
that's August 19th.
Okay.
So it'll be August 18th on IST.
Okay. Good.
I'm waiting for that. I am not trusting Amazon. No, thank you.
Is it already out on Amazon?
I mean,
pre-order.
I don't know when it comes out. I just know it's coming out before August on there, I believe.
Okay. I'll just keep an eye out for you, and I'll trust you to tell
I'll
me.
have to holler at you, yeah. We're also getting the Buffy Legacies in August, so
yeah,
there's a lot of Buffy stuff in August.
Grabbing those. Lionheart, it's not yet. It has shipped. It should be here on Tuesday. I'm really excited to sit down and read it.
We are going to talk about it in July.
Yep. Yay. Hi, Matt and Kristen. I got my copy of Lady Killer and hope we get more of Lady Killer. I don't know if we will. I think she will continue it. And maybe she will, but she's also been very busy with, like, DC projects. She's a popular lady.
I think now that there's a library edition, though.
That's true.
I don't know, right?
And
it does say Volume 1 in the title.
So we might.
I don't know.
I hope so. Have they said if PS5 will be backwards compatible with physical copies or just digital? I think just digital. Last time I heard. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just backwards compatible with digital.
Does anyone want to talk about how it looks, though?
Redonkulous.
I mean, guys,
like
it looks like my stand-up fan over here. Like, I
right,
already have one. It's
all
like
the jokes were wonderful.
Oh, I love them.
That is like looks like a modem with like a jacket.
Yeah.
That it looks like
someone put like 2 pieces of paper on their modem. That was great.
I just it's
bad.
upsetting because it breaks the color look that I already have in my entertainment center, and it's bigger. And PlayStation's got to stop pushing this whole keep your system vertical.
Oh yeah. No.
Every
I don't have room for that.
Yeah, every console, you're like, no, but put it vertical. Why?
Yeah. Also, no.
No.
That's how cats knock it over. Okay.
Yeah,
We don't
exactly.
need that.
Like,
No, those top two things, I'm like, if I had that, Buffy would be chewing the crap out of the top. Those would be gone. They would be in her mouth.
Mad because I was like, I've curated my entertainment center to look a certain way, and there's these like long rectangle like open back shelves or whatever where systems go, and they're all black. It looks very nice. It's gonna look horrendous with this dumb behemoth that's probably not even gonna fit, and if it doesn't, it's my first world problem that I'm gonna complain about very loudly until I get a slim or whatever.
It looks crazy.
I'm
really
still gonna buy it. Probably not when it comes out right away. I would if Horizon Zero Dawn was gonna be out for it day one, but they made a mistake and didn't do that, so they lost the sale. At least in a media.
That's
sad. Oh, you're gonna just skip?
I mean, look, Hayden, wow. We buy all the garbage, so it's fine.
Really?
We buy all of the things.
It's too late for us.
Yeah, we're gone.
We're stuck in this.
We're buying all of it. It's bad.
It could be worse. I could be buying, the other like big Marvel omnibuses that were like going out of stock. Like I didn't jump on the Conan train.
True. I didn't either.
Jump on Power Rangers. Oh, I kind of regret it. But
yeah,
I think if I read online, I'm gonna be fine. I didn't jump on like, I don't know, a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If this is the only thing, that's not too bad.
Also, I think we're the only ones doing it. Just us. We're the only ones buying all the things from Buffy and Angel.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Boom. Even though I know for a fact you don't pay your people right. So, yikes, Twitter, guys. Go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you all have the chance, go look on, like, I forgot what the tag was.
But
there's, like, a tag where all these artists and writers were sharing, like, what they got paid.
There's a publishing one. Yeah. Publishing rates and page rates, maybe? Something like that.
But I recommend checking it out. I don't remember who started it, but it's been very interesting to see just the difference across the board, and I don't know if anybody's can put that data together. I hope they put that data together to see like if it's affected at all by extenuating factors, like physical factors over anything else. But definitely different from publisher.
Boom's the worst too. Apparently, it sucks.
Which
is sad.
Which is sad because I love a lot of Boom books.
Oh yeah, and I mean, to the creators' credit, someone asked one of them who had previously worked at Boom, like, "What do we do? Because you guys are getting paid garbage, but we love these books and we love how diverse they are and we love these things about them. What do we do?" And they're like, "Buy the books if you like the books, but just be aware." Just be aware of these things, and hopefully they will be aware and pay people better at some point.
What a bummer.
Yeah, it's a big bummer.
Dang. Just saw the third Avatar: Last Airbender story. It's paperback omnibus listed for January. I need to start picking those up. Maybe I'll put them on like a Christmas wish list or something, because I haven't read any of them, despite being like a big fan. I need to. I'll wait till Kristen watches the show. Maybe it'll motivate me to pick up the comic.
Yeah, I need to do that.
You should. Speaking of Boom, was waiting for a hardcover but got tired. Marcy and Simon is great. The introduction by Olivia Olson is perfect. Oh, like Adventure Time of Marcy and Simon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that. I'm just gonna get that on Hoopla.
I haven't heard of that. Still jealous of Hoopla, especially since I can't just like go to the library. I guess I can.
But you can get it. I've told you how you can get it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you should do that.
You should.
It'll help you. It'll help your reading life, I think.
Man, I was hoping there's something else bad to say.
Well, I'm gonna remind you guys that you should pick up Snapdragon and Are You Listening? If you haven't learned anything from tonight's show, that's what you should learn. Which you can still get on IST.
We have a few Are you two Critical Role fans? And if so, are you excited for the animated series? I'm a Critical Role fan, and I'm pumped for the animated series. And I love the comic book series, and I feel like all of you should pick it up, even if you don't listen to the podcast. I really like it.
And I need to listen to the podcast and read it.
It is very long, though.
I know, that's one thing I'm just like, I can't jump into something so long right now.
A Critical Role fan, I have not had the attention span to listen to always listen to full episodes. Sometimes I listen to a few full episodes, and I have to listen to recaps instead for a while because I can't, and I watch highlights. But have you listened to the Adventure Zone, Kristen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, I haven't heard the newest stuff.
But... Okay, but you balance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's easier. That's much easier.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so I just got my first Junji Ito hardcover. Why is it so pretty? They're so pretty.
It is, right?
Man.
Yeah, Hayden, that's a hole you're gonna fall down because they're all pretty, and you need them all.
You're gonna fall down.
And you need all of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of Uzumaki, so I'm reading that right now, and I was reading it the other day, and Reed walks by, and I open up to the inside cover. I wish I had it with me, but that horrid in color picture of the guy who's the spiral with this tongue out, and it's terrible looking, right? So gross. But he walks by, he's like, "What are you reading?" And I show him that terrible picture, and he's never he's read a little some short stories from him, but he was like, "Oh no," and just ran by. It was great.
It's so good.
It's horrible and awesome.
When ordering from my ST, can you pick who you want to use for a shipping company if you wanted to use FedEx, for example? I think you only have the one choice.
Yeah, and I think they only partner with UPS.
Yeah.
Because you can upgrade to UPS Ground, and that's the highest one you can do. Otherwise, Media Mail is USPS. Yeah, I don't think they do anything with FedEx.
Yeah. It's awesome. It takes place after the show ending and written by the actual Vampire Queen. Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'm checking that out.
DC can't collect on a format. Can't select it on a format, hardcover, trade, paperback, omnibus, or salute. Why switch from glossy paper to matte finished paper, DC? I don't know.
I love matte paper, though. I think I'm in the minority here, but...
I did not... Well, I think if that was always how it was, it wouldn't have bothered me.
Oh, did they switch? Suddenly?
They switched.
Is that what he's saying? Yeah. Oh. That's crazy.
It was always the glossy paper.
That's annoying.
And then... when they switched from their Blue Rebirth format to their newer ones, they switched to the matte finish paper, and it just felt so weird.
That's weird. No, that's really weird. I thought you meant the Vertigo books, they're all matte, and I like those. But
DC.
That's crazy.
Add to the list of weird DC stuff because
they don't make any sense ever, do they?
No, their collected editions department doesn't make any sense. None of the books ever match, and then when they made the switch to matte paper, I was like, "What are you doing?" And I feel like they just randomly choose things. You're an absolute. You're an omnibus. You didn't ask for this omnibus, but you have it. Ooh, this omnibus is still in print. Let's release it again. What? How would you like your deluxe Green Arrow? For some reason.
Blue? Is that the blue one?
The only one. It wasn't we're going to go blue from now on. It was nope, this is the only blue one.
I noticed that I think Omar sits near that, and I notice it in every video behind him. I'm just that would drive me crazy.
It is so upsetting.
That's horrible.
I don't understand.
Why? Who made that choice?
There's a reason why they're making these bad decisions, and it's because that department has no idea what they're doing.
It's a mess.
At the very least, just do what Marvel does and call it a day. So at least you can compete. Please. Speaking of DC dumbness, do we really need another 30 versions of Sandman, but no Wreck of Wonder Woman Omni? At least we're trying to get Wonder Woman Omnis because we, think a lot of them have been released within the past couple of years, and we didn't have them before.
I get the Sandman thing, though. That sells.
It does.
That's a good business move. Makes sense.
Phrases, I saw the tweet by, I don't know how to say her last name, Lay?
I think it's Lay, but I'm not positive.
I saw the tweet by Kat Lay, created Snapdragon, and the difference between Boom and First Second for Snapdragon was worlds apart.
Yeah, if you guys want to see some of the things we're talking about, she made a great tweet about it. People are telling numbers. So they're showing exactly what they're making for books, which is interesting anyway, especially if you're a consumer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, the Check Please woman. Go to her
Oh,
account too, and I know her name. I just can't. It's
I
not
can
coming to me.
spell it. I could not
And I'm
say
not
it.
positive how to say it. Yeah, exactly. So look her up if you want a lot of those great tweets about rates people are making. She makes a big stink about the boom thing too, because it's really unfair, and that's cool to see. But yeah, there's a lot of great ones she's been retweeting and part of that thread.
Here we go. I have the tweet right here. I can read out loud. So it's the hashtag publishing paid me and hashtag fair page rates. So Kat said, boom, it was $35 per script page, $120 per like lines, and $250 for cover. First second, $25,000 for Snapdragon, half on signing, half on delivery. There.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she did. There was a couple of like responses asking about royalties percentage for Snapdragon, so I don't know about that. But
yeah, and that really matters with your deal as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Check Please Woman had a great one because she talked about Check Please for a second. And she had a crazy good royalty split. It was like 50-50, which never happens.
Whoa. Well, people wanted that book so bad. I think it was probably a good choice.
Well, not only that, but they also let her keep the rights to her own books so she can sell her self-published ones at her store, which also rarely ever happens. So that's also really cool for a second to even accept that deal. So she got a great deal with that.
Yeah, everyone, please look, because it's not just like graphic novelists that are speaking on this. It's also just like writers in general. Like I saw in here the Scott Westerfield tweeted, who did Uglies, which is part of my childhood, like teenage years. Did you read Uglies?
I didn't, but I know about it.
Oh, wow,
but I never did. No.
I don't know if it would be good now.
Yeah, it's one of those things I'm like, yeah, that's a classic back then, but is it now?
Right. Oh yeah, Nick Robles posted about like all the differences, like from Boom to Vault to IDW to Valiant, Marvel, DC. Super interesting. Okay. Speaking of IST, I hear people all the time say certain books are low in stock on IST. How can they know which books are low in stock on there unless IST contacts them directly with that info?
Yeah, that's people with a diamond account.
Oh yeah.
People with a diamond account giving that information out. Yeah, that's how that's known.
I never know unless somebody in the group says it or if Omar tells me. But I know that some people will tell Omar because he doesn't know always either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you guys watch The Bros, Gabe has a diamond account. He will look up on the show if something's low in stock. So, I mean, anyone who has a diamond account can do that.
Which usually makes everybody go run and then like go buy it.
Right, that's right. But that's usually how people know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we already said that one. Maybe it was blue because the Aquaman book was solicited but then it got canceled. Maybe. I wonder how much talent it gets for the Boom Buffy verse because Disney needs to get a cut of that sales for that too.
Yeah, with licensed material, I don't know. I know it depends too. It depends on the publisher because, I know there were some people speaking out in that thread who have worked on the Steven Universe book, and they were like, it was hard to say no to Steven Universe, but I couldn't live on what they were offering to pay me. Or another person said the same thing about Adventure Time. Like Kate Leth, who did an Adventure Time original graphic novel, she talks about the horrid pay rate she got. She fought for, I think, $35 a page, and they wanted to pay her like $25 or something, and they freaked out about her even fighting for that extra money. I mean,
that's so low and depressing.
It's not great.
Like,
and it's a licensed book, but you'd think, they'll get more.
Book.
No, not really. So, Boom makes me sad because I love so much Boom stuff.
Right.
But I hope I hope they're sitting back and seeing all these people speak out and like maybe wanting to change how they do stuff. Right. I don't know.
Right. It says plus licenses don't play royalty.
Yep.
Thanks for the info, girls. I thought there was a feature I was overlooking on there. No problem.
I wish there was, but can you imagine too? They're like, oh, there's 10 left in stock. Like, oh, panic ensues.
Well, I guess that's time.
We
my
did
guys.
it. We did it, guys. So again,
pick up both of these at In Stock Trades.
yeah. Dude on In Stock Trades, our great sponsor, where you can get your books up to 50% off. You don't have to worry about your packaging like with Amazon. They package them great. Robin agrees, I heard.
Yep, she's in here. How long have you been in here?
She's like, you need to
keep you out.
pay attention to me.
You? Here, Robin, come up here. The people want to see cats.
Oh, by people you mean me.
And Robin says to join us next week when we talk about Chew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robin, just come on. Be part of the show. She's doing her best.
She's going to make you get a PS5 so she can play the cat game.
Well, absolutely.
And then Chew on the PS5.
I'll do it for you, Robin.
Oh, it's so nice.
God. This girl. But yeah, so we'll be back next Sunday with Chew. And I hope you all stay safe and stay inside and wear a mask, please, wherever you go.
And Hayden, yeah, season 11 is the end of the month.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Goodbye, you guys.
Bye, guys.